G'day and welcome to episode 17 of Travel Pointers, the podcast for Australian frequent flyers. It's the 19th of August 2025 and I'm Matt Graham, the editor of AFF.
And I'm Wilson McTaggart, a writer at AFF and part of the Frequent Flyer concierge team.
In this episode, we're going to have a chat about Emirates and its new premium economy product. It looks really nice in the photos, but what's it really like? Well, Wilson and I found out recently and we'll have a chat about that. But first, just a few headlines from the past couple of weeks. Firstly, Air Canada, which actually had to shut down its operations over the weekend because of a flight attendant strike, has announced that its Aeroplan frequent flyer program will switch to spend-based earning of points and status from next year. KrisFlyer, meanwhile, has added an option to redeem miles on Scoot at fixed award chart prices with actually very low lead-in prices, although those award tickets won't actually include any extra inclusions like bags, meals or seat selection, and they will also be non-refundable. Qantas has been fined $90 million for illegally sacking its ground staff during the COVID-19 pandemic, and actually the judgment from Justice Michael Lee was quite scathing of Qantas. QantasLink will take over the contract from Virgin Australia Regional Airlines to fly from Perth to Christmas and Cocos Keeling Islands from November. CommBank is getting rid of most of its airline and hotel program transfer partners from October, leaving Velocity Frequent Flyer as the only program that CommBank credit card holders who collect CommBank Awards points will be able to transfer their points into. Accor Plus is rebranding in October as All Accor Plus Explorer with a slightly reduced annual fee and changes to benefits, including a reduced dining discount, the annual free night, as well as being replaced with two buy one, get one free nights instead of one just free night. And the number of bonus status nights given each year will increase from 20 to 30. And you can now use Qantas points to upgrade on American Airlines flights, albeit with dynamic pricing. And Wilson, the pricing that we've seen so far isn't that crash hot.
No, it's pretty garbage, to be honest, from what I've seen. So a few figures that we were able to see so far, for example, Sydney to Los Angeles, to upgrade from economy to premium economy, you'll need 108,800 Qantas points, which is more than the 97,600 Qantas points required to book an outright premium economy award seat on that same flight. So that's even after the devaluation, you still need more to upgrade, which it doesn't really make sense. And so if you were to book, for example, an economy seat on American Airlines using your Qantas points and then upgrade that to premium economy, you'd need way more than what would be required for a business class award seat, which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not exactly the best value. I've seen some examples as well on the AFF forum of pricing on domestic flights, like from like economy to domestic first class. And again, not really competitive. But, if you've got lots of Qantas points, maybe nice to have the option. Emirates launched Premium Economy around 3 years ago. And Emirates was kind of a latecomer to do this. It was initially quite reluctant to launch a premium economy product because it was worried that business class customers would buy down and basically that it would cannibalize its business class demand. Now, this hasn't really happened. Instead, what's actually happened is a lot of economy passengers are buying up, and also customers that might have booked premium economy on different airlines are now coming over to Emirates. The product, in fact, has proven so popular, and Emirates is now selling its premium economy seats for good money that it hasn't actually made them available yet at all to book using points or miles, which is a bit of a shame. Hopefully this is something that will happen at some point. But yeah, it's definitely proved to be a popular product. The demand is definitely there. And Wilson, we both flew a few weeks ago in Emirates Premium Economy from Melbourne to Edinburgh via Dubai. Firstly on a 777 and then on their almost new A350. Before we talk about our experience flying premium economy, do you want to just go through how Emirates is charging for it and what kind of pricing it's charging for its premium economy?
Yeah, so Emirates is obviously, I guess, considered a premium airline, and from Australia to Europe, premium economy is proving extremely popular, as you said. So the route that we flew, which was Melbourne to Edinburgh via Dubai, I had a quick look and they're currently charging about $6,000 for return premium economy flights. For other places in Europe, you might find pricing closer to about $5,000. I've seen as low as about $4,500, which it's a bit more reasonable, obviously, than our routing, but
What's the
it's not too
cheapest?
bad.
What's the cheapest place in Europe to fly if you're booking this? Do you remember?
To find the trick is finding a route that is operated all the way with premium economy, because Emirates has only got premium economy on some of its planes. So, and the website and Google Flights, which I use to scan a lot of destinations at once, it doesn't tell you if the second leg from Dubai to Europe, the shorter leg, is in premium economy or economy, because some of its A380s and some of its 777s don't have premium economy yet. The cheapest one that I found that was fully premium economy was Melbourne to Zurich, all on 777s, and that was about $4,600.
Okay, not a bad option. And so I guess if you're booking a flight to Europe and the second leg doesn't have premium economy, they're just going to book you in like what, flexible economy, are they?
Yeah, that's right. It'll just be in a very high fare class for economy, but you won't get any of the premium economy benefits. It'll just be standard economy on board.
Okay, right. And I guess so. $6,000 return to Europe for premium economy. It's about on par with, I guess, what Qantas or like other top tier airlines would charge, maybe a little bit more even. But can't you get business class to Europe for kind of a similar price on sort of second tier airlines?
Yeah, I mean, this, like, even without sort of any hacks, like, you can find business class on, or yeah, as you said, second tier airlines, maybe your Vietnam Airlines, Thai, for not too much more. So I found, just on a quick search using Google Flights, a combined Thai Airways and Royal Jordanian itinerary from Melbourne to London for $5,600 return in business class, and that's in lie flat business class all the way up to Amman, and then Amman to London Stansted it actually was. So Amman to Stansted is operated by an A320 with recliner seats. So sure, the airlines probably aren't quite at the tier of Emirates, I guess, and I like the routing isn't as convenient, but the ability to lie flat is, in my opinion, like a massive selling point. It doesn't matter what premium economy product it is. It's having a lie flat seat on long overnight flights is pretty good, which I'm sure you'll agree with.
Yeah, and I mean it's interesting. Like I've like even Oman Air as well has similar kind of pricing. Like I've seen sort of between $6,000 and $7,000 return for business class from Australia to Europe on Oman Air, and these are sold as, actually Oman Air is advertising these as one world friendly fares because they're on one world airlines sort of between Australia and a point in somewhere in Asia, like Southeast Asia, usually Jakarta, Manila, Bangkok, wherever it is. Tokyo even, and then you pick up Oman Air from there to Muscat and onwards to where you actually want to go in Europe. Yeah, as I said, around $6,000 to $7,000 return. These probably would be a little bit more. This is a bit of a tangent, sorry. These probably would be a little bit more one world friendly if Qantas actually let you earn points and status credits on Oman Air, which even though Oman Air is in a one world airline, this is something that's going to come online in the next sort of 1 to 3 months. So it's not actually...
it's a broad timeline, isn't it?
I'm sure we'll get a bit more clarity soon, but yeah, so you can't actually earn points or status credits on those Oman Air flights yet, even though Oman Air is in one world, and you can earn points and status credits on every other one world airline for those flights. But anyway, it's about sort of $6,000-$7,000, not that much more than Emirates Premium Economy. The difference really is, though, isn't it, that it's multi-stop. Like there's at least 2 stops. Some of the connection times are quite long, whereas with Emirates, you do have the option of a one-stop itinerary through Dubai if you want, with a short connection time as well. So for some people, it's just going to be a lot more convenient for the quick routing.
Yeah, 100%. Like you kind of pay for the convenience of, regardless of what class you're booking. It is worth noting, I think, that you can book premium economy using a Qantas code share as well. So you'll earn Qantas points and status credits at the Qantas rates, which are better than its one world partners if and when, I mean, for example, with the Oman airfare, if it gets added. But
that'll be at the reduced partner rate, same as like
yes,
Malaysia
exactly.
Airlines or Cathay or whatever. Yeah, and we did earn, I think, was it about 100 status credits for the first leg from Melbourne to Dubai, and then was it 55 or something for the next leg, and about 30,000 Qantas points.
Yeah, I mean, the Qantas point earn, I thought, was a bit surprising. So we're both platinum, so we do get the bonus from the status bonus on points, and this was right after the recent change, which allowed you to earn the bonus based on the class that you did fly, which was good for us. So it does help, I guess, offset the cost to a point.
Yeah, and then of course we'd booked on the QF flight number, so
Yes,
it was earning as if it was a Qantas flight.
Yes, exactly. But I guess is it worth booking flights for the point status credit earned versus in-flight comfort? Well, that's a
Depends who you ask. Probably not.
Exactly.
Yeah. So on the premium economy concept is kind of the least consistent across different airlines, right? Like you've got when you've booked long haul economy, yes, there's differences, 1 inch more or less of legroom, or the meals might be different or whatever, but you kind of know what you're getting. And same more or less with business class. Again, there's definitely differences, but you basically on a long haul business class, you're getting a lie flat bed and usually good catering. Some airlines might be an exception. I won't name names, but yeah. With premium economy, there is a lot of variation. With some airlines, they treat it you usually get, a wider seat than economy, a bit more legroom, a bit more recline, and it's usually in sort of a mini cabin, which just feels maybe a little bit more private and exclusive. But some airlines really just treat it as economy plus, so economy class with just a bit more space, but you get basically the same service as you would get in economy. And then other airlines treat it more like business light. It's not quite a lie flat bed, but you get really, upgraded meals, better drinks, better service on board, premium ground services as well. Where is Emirates, in your opinion, Wilson, treating its premium economy?
To be honest, I'm a bit torn. As you said, there's no real pattern for premium economy, and not in the same way economy and business class has been sort of established over a long period of time. And Emirates' ground experience, I thought, was actually quite lackluster. There's no lounge whatsoever, unlike something like Japan Airlines, for example.
I mean, that's kind of common. Most airlines don't give you a lounge in premium economy, but they would at least give you priority check-in or something.
Yeah, that was a big surprising thing. That premium economy, it wasn't really well signed to, there wasn't a very clear check-in lane to begin with, and turns out it was actually in the online check-in queue, which is not a benefit really, considering anyone can check in online. And boarding as well, there wasn't really anything specific for that. But the product itself, I mean, firstly, it does look fantastic, but the product itself is more towards, I think, the business light, once you're on board, rather than I guess the ground experience was definitely felt like economy plus.
Yeah. We'll get to the onboard experience in a moment. There's just one more thing I wanted to talk about before the break, and that is the fact that premium economy, it's really interesting. With the pricing, if you consider the fares that airlines are charging for premium economy in general, compared to the amount of real estate, so space on board the plane that the premium economy seat takes up, for some airlines, premium economy is now the most profitable part of the plane per square meter, even more profitable than business and first class. And yeah, I think that's really interesting. The business class and first class was traditionally the most profitable, but premium economy seems to be a sweet spot for airlines, and it's still popular with customers.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we take the figures that we used for the flights that we took, so Melbourne to Edinburgh was about $6,000 in premium economy. Economy class maybe pay $2,500 to, we'll say $3,000 to be generous. And say maybe it was a peak fares. So you're paying double the amount of price for premium economy. But the airline is probably only using maybe 40 to 50% more real estate on the plane, and the service and catering isn't that much more premium. So it's proving very, very popular. I know Korean Air has ripping out first class on its long haul fleet and installing premium economy. I saw Hawaiian is going to refit its A330s with premium economy as well, and they're just two very recent examples.
Yeah,
but
El Al's just done the same thing. Many airlines have just done, doing exactly the same. It seems to be the new first class is premium economy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's go to a very quick break, and then we'll share what our experience was like. So, Australian Frequent Flyer is primarily an online community, but of course, it is made up of lots of real people, real travellers and frequent flyers and point enthusiasts who have lots of stories to share. And one way to get more involved in the community is to come along to a member gathering. And AFF has held weekend gatherings in different cities around Australia for the past 18 years. This year, it will be in Melbourne, won't it, Wilson?
Yep, so from the 21st to the 23rd of November 2025, you can join us in Melbourne for some activities, for some dinners, and you'll even get to meet us if you want.
If you want to. Is that a selling point?
Well, maybe. There'll also be a lot of other people there as well, which is great. We might even have a guest speaker or two, which not promising, but fingers crossed. But now registrations are open, so go to the Meetings and Social Events forum on AFF or check out the link in the show notes to register.
Now, I will just mention before we talk about the service on board that Wilson and I did each pay for our own tickets. So just in case you're wondering, for full disclosure, this was not a freebie from Emirates or anyone. We were both traveling to Europe and both bought our own tickets on Emirates Premium Economy. Now, Wilson, how did you find the seats? So as we've kind of alluded to, they look great in the marketing shots. We flew in these seats for about 24 hours. Was it comfortable?
For 24 hours, not many seats are comfortable, and I would say that you're sitting upright. And premium economy, obviously, that's exactly what the product is. So the seats themselves were very comfortable for a premium economy product. I would say that they do look beautiful in person as well. I love the cream finishes. It's very clean, but as sort of alluded to before, it's not a lie flat bed. It's not close to a lie flat bed. And for 24 hours and at least one period of sleeping involved, you probably want a lie flat bed. Yeah, like I would have no problem with these seats on a day flight, even longer day flights to for example, like Sydney to Tokyo. That would be perfectly suitable, but coming back from Tokyo to Sydney or like overnight, I definitely want a lie flat over this seat.
Yeah, I found it pretty good. I think the recline was quite generous. The seat was pretty comfortable. It was wide. The finishes were quite nice. I thought it was like good padding and like the leather finish was comfortable. There was like a leg rest, wasn't there?
Yes, yeah. Or a foot,
or like something that folds out from under the seat and supports your legs. How do I explain that?
Calf rest.
Calf rest. Yeah, there was. I would have liked somewhere to put my feet, like some sort of foot net under the seat, like Qantas has in Premium Economy. I'm a big fan of those, as you might know if you've been reading AFF recently. I did write about that, but yeah, I thought it was like the leg room, like the seat pitch, so the amount of space between the seats, I thought was just enough. Even when the person in front had reclined, it was still. If I was able to also recline, it was enough space, and we also deliberately chose the last row, which meant that there was guilt-free recline at any time because there was a wall behind our seats, not other people. So that I think that was
we did get
trick.
Full recline as well. The wall didn't stop us, and I would say as well, specifically to Emirates, their seats are a bit. Well, there's a bit more legroom for these seats versus other airlines such as Qantas, Finnair, for example, which it does, like a couple inches does make a difference, I think.
And on the second flight, that was the A350, Emirates uses 232 in Premium Economy rather than 242, which I think you've experienced on other airlines in Premium Economy.
Yeah, so on Finnair, for example, their A350s are in 242 configuration, which just means the seats are a bit narrower. We're talking small margins here, but the Emirates seats are around the 19.5 to 20 inches wide on the A350s. The Finnair seats and the Cathay as well, they have a 242 configuration on their A350s. It's about 18.5. And especially when you're trying to sleep, it like that little extra bit of wiggle room, I think it makes a big difference.
Yeah, I thought it was quite good. And I think on the A350 as well, the aisle was actually kind of wide because with one less seat per row. And I mean, yes, the seats are a little bit wider, but yeah, the aisle it seemed wider than on the 777. Just a little quirk.
No, I agree.
Yeah, one thing I found not as good for sleeping was the pillow and the blanket. Actually, the blanket seemed like it was probably the same as what they had in economy class, and the pillow, although the pillow was quite big, the pillowcase really sucked. It was rough. Like it was
It
like
was
this
just very
disposable.
scratchy, sort of like it wasn't good, was it?
It wasn't a linen pillowcase. It was like, how would you even describe that? You know, like the material that they use for the thing that they put on the back of the seat where your head sits.
Yeah, I was thinking like a laundry bag that you might
Yeah.
find, or like a shoe bag in like hotels and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't comfortable. I didn't. I don't think I used it even. And
No.
the what am I talking? Oh, the amenity kit. Yeah, we got it on I think Melbourne to Dubai, but not the second flight. The second flight was a shorter daytime flight. Melbourne to Dubai was overnight. The amenity kit was okay. It had basically what you'd expect and not that much else really. I think.
Yep. It was basic. It was nice to get earplugs, eye mask, and that was pretty much it. A small pen.
Yeah, but I did manage to sleep. I think around 6 hours or so, on and off. Yeah, it wasn't like a solid, comfortable sleep where I just slept through for the most of the flight. But like I did manage to doze off, and when we got to Dubai in the morning, I didn't feel like I was like really, really sleep deprived. So I'm personally going to chalk that up as a win.
Yeah. No.
Would you agree?
I would agree with that. I think I slept a bit better than you I guess as a general thing. I think I actually sleep not too bad on like planes in general, which is good. It wasn't like completely like restful sleep, unfortunately, but like as you said, we'll take it. And we were on the evening departure out of Melbourne, which kind of helped because you kind of force yourself to stay awake for the meal service, and so by that time we were both full and quite tired. So
Yeah, and I think by the time I nodded off, I watched a movie, and it was about 2 a.m. Melbourne time, so I was
yeah,
kind of ready to sleep anyway. Yeah, and I think compared to other airlines that I have flown in premium economy, that was probably one of the better, certainly seats. In terms of the in-flight entertainment, like I thought it was pretty good, and like Emirates had some cool of anyone who's flown Emirates basically knows the content library of entertainment is great. So no issues there. There's also live TV and some cool like features that I haven't seen on other airlines. Maybe I haven't been paying attention, but things like you could connect your headphones to the entertainment system using Bluetooth. So you didn't have to use the headphones that they provided. And by the way, the headphones that they provided, they collected them an hour before landing. I mean, that's it seems to be the way that Emirates does things, but I'm not really a fan of that. I mean, they weren't particularly great headphones anyway. I wasn't even thinking about taking them. I don't know why why they felt they needed to do that. But yeah, just like a lot of the little things, like you could set like a sleep timer alarm. So if you wanted to be like to wake yourself up at like in 3 hours or 4 hours, you could set an alarm like on your entertainment system, and it would wake you up through your headphones. And then like you could also connect different screens at different seats and simultaneously watch the same content or play games with other passengers on the entertainment. So like yeah, full marks I think for
oh
the
yeah,
IFE.
yeah, 100%. Like the advantages of premium economy products in general is that they're all pretty modern, and it shows on like the IFE and like sort of gadgets around the seat, like Bluetooth connectivity, like to the entertainment is great, and the Emirates content library. I mean, a lot of people who have flown Emirates would probably agree that it's pretty extensive, so you're not going to get bored. And the screens themselves were very very high definition, which was really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, especially on the A350. The A350 was like that was impressive. Like it was modern. The plane was almost brand new. You could tell. And actually, the one of the quirks on the 777 we flew on was not brand new. It was about I think 8 years old or something. But it had been retrofitted with premium economy. So where we were sitting used to be clearly economy seats, and you could tell because the overhead panel lights. And honestly, it's not a thing. This is just something that av geeks like us would notice. Not an issue, but like when you're sitting in economy, there's like the three overhead lights, and they're each sort of pointing in the direction of one of the three seats, like the aisle, the window, or the middle seat. Emirates had removed one of those lights, but I think they removed the light that was previously pointing towards the window seat. So if you're sitting in the window seat in premium economy and you turned on the overhead light, it was sort of pointing to where the middle seat used to be, and kind of just not really pointing at anything in particular, just into like the center armrest console where the little cocktail table was.
I mean, yeah, it's obviously not an issue, but
No, not an issue.
but that being said, like if you wanted to read and you didn't want to like disturb people, for example, like it actually is kind of an issue in a way. It's just a bit odd that they didn't think about that, or maybe it's something more fundamental with the plane design that I'm not aware of. But
I mean, it could have even been an oversight because the way that the lights were set up, they had taken out basically the light that's physically in the middle, but the light
yeah,
that was physically in the middle was the one that was pointed towards the window seat, and then the light that was physically on the right in the overhead panel was pointing into the middle. So I don't know why they designed it that way in the first place, but probably no one like thought about this when they did the reconfiguration.
no,
Just a
it's
just a little quirk. What about the service and the food on board? I mean, so when we got on board both flights, the flight attendant came around with some welcome drinks in glasses, not alcoholic, but like things like juice and water in a glass, hot towels as well before the start of the meal service. How did you find the service? Sort of more close to business class, or
yeah, I would say so. That it seemed to be two dedicated flight attendants for premium economy. I
pretty impressive with only 3 rows?
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was really good, and they were prompt, efficient, like with meal service, which was good. The food itself, I thought was good. I didn't have any problems with it, I guess, but I think it was sort of like a genuine middle ground between
Yeah.
economy and business class. It was all served on one tray. You got like everything. Obviously, you ordered, and the quality of the meal was solid.
Yeah, I did particularly like the afternoon tea they served as the second meal service on the flight from Dubai to Edinburgh. Like I assume they have the same on all of the UK flights. It was like some sort of British sandwiches and hot scone with jam and cream.
Yeah,
I thought that was really good actually.
really getting you in the mood for the destination, even though, yeah, Scotland
Yeah.
would not like to be associated with England in this regard, but that's another story.
Well, yeah. Um, I'm just gonna let that one through to the keeper, I think. But yeah, the breakfast coming into Dubai was a bit average. I thought like you had like what was it, like a pineapple cake or something,
Yeah, it was a
and I had
super
some egg thing,
sweet, yeah, some super sweet sort of cake slash pancake
some sort of
thingy.
slice thing.
Yeah, and like I refused to go near eggs, and you braved them.
Yeah, I think that they have like an omelet or some sort of frittata or something, which is you know how it's going to be,
Yeah,
reheated egg.
yeah, it's pretty stock standard. What do you think of the drink selections on board, though?
Yeah, pretty good. I did actually like they had actually a pretty good selection of spirits, even like Contro, Baileys, and the usual whiskey, gin, vodka. Um, they and the soft drinks and sparkling water and all these things. The wine selection was a bit odd. Like they had one red, one white, and one sparkling thing, which well, I asked for a sparkling wine with my meal on the first flight, and the flight attendant, I don't know, I'm not sure if there was a language barrier or she didn't understand what I asked for, or if she just didn't understand what she was serving. But she was like, "Oh, we only have sparkling Chardonnay or something," and it's like, "Oh, so you have sparkling wine?" And she's like, "No, it's Chardonnay."
Now, yeah, like I'm not an expert, but Chardonnay is wine, right?
I guess this is why I'm talking about the wines. Yeah, it's a white wine. It's not served sparkling normally. No, it was some sort of prosecco or sparkling wine or something, and then at some point I think she said it was champagne, but it wasn't champagne. I think she really had no idea what it was. But on the second flight, I think they called it sparkling wine. It was the same thing. They had the same three wines on all of the flights. It was fine. It was perfectly acceptable. Yeah, pretty good overall, I would say.
Yeah. So overall, what would you sort of grade Emirates Premium Economy?
Ooh, probably a solid. I would have said 4 or 4.5 stars, except for the ground experience. The ground experience, there wasn't really anything differentiating, at least out of Melbourne. And I mean, we transited through Dubai, so we didn't get the check-in experience in Dubai, but just boarding in Dubai as well. There wasn't really anything that screamed premium about that. Otherwise, yeah, I thought it was really good. I'm not sure it was worth the price. That's the
True.
only thing.
Like on its own, if all flights were the same, Emirates have a pretty solid premium economy product. But I think when you take into consideration that the price and like compared to other premium economy products out of Australia, like it doesn't seem like great value. Like unless there's a specific reason why you're choosing Emirates Premium Economy, like if you really want to fly Premium Economy and Emirates is the only airline that offers it to your specific destination, okay, I would like I would be much more willing to just, I guess, save up money, I guess, and spend money on business class like for the next trip, or take an economy flight to Asia and fly business class from Asia, which would probably be about the same price, about the $4,000 to $5,000 mark.
Yeah, and that's what I normally do. The economy or a points booking or something to Asia, and then business class to Europe. That would have been cheaper, and that's probably what I will continue to do next time. Although if you really just want the convenience of the one stop option, all on one ticket all the way through to Europe, I mean, it is a good product at the end of the day. A very good product, and it'll be nice when it's available to book on points as well.
Yes, if.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of Travel Pointers. Thanks so much for listening. Hopefully you didn't get bored with our kind of geeky airplane conversation, but that's of course what this podcast is about. We'll see you again next time, and until then, safe travels.
Thanks for listening.